All right, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. It's raining out there already. It promises to be a wet Friday, but of course it might not be raining where you are. Let's begin the day as usual with a look at the headlines. Of course, we have CEO of CKN News, Chris-Nwandu, joining us this morning. Good morning to you.
Thank you. Good morning.
And
nice to be here with you.
Happy Friday.
Same to you. Thanks.
All right, let's begin. The Punch. Buhari's bill on water resources splits northern and southern senators. It's anti-power devolution, says Godswill Akpabio. We've long been waiting for this bill. Adamualiero speaking there. Of course, it looks like the North is in support. Northern senators seem to be in support of this, while southern senators are saying no.
Well, it's to be expected, but I wouldn't know why that should become a problem. Probably because of the huge amount being voted for.
It's not just the amount.
Yes,
the federal government wants it to be exclusively under the under the federal government
exclusively,
control.
which control. But in these days, we are always talking of devolution of powers and try to decentralize most of the powers given to the federal, and not only that, on other natural resources as well. I think that this should have been another test to allow the states to be able to control this. We've realized that the federal government is so choked with so many things now.
Yeah.
You look at roads, they are in charge of all the roads.
In charge of power.
We are in charge of power, we are in charge of security, we are in charge of the natural resources, we are in charge of... So there are so many things that then most of these states are crying out that, for goodness sake, we don't need to be coming to Abuja every month to just collect stipend. Why don't you just decentralize some of these things, whatever, just as it was in the First Republic, where states or regions were allowed to be able to tap into the resources.
Obviously, it doesn't seem like this government is even listening to this whole debate about restructuring, devolution, and what
have you. They are not even listening to it. I don't have the things they promised. That was the things they promised.
It seems to be like a clear divide in the southern part of the country. They are calling for restructuring, devolution.
Even part of the North Central are already calling for that. North Central also are calling for that. Just for a quick one. Forgetting that there was a time that the Southeast was noted for coal.
Especially if you go to
Enugu. Where you go to Enugu areas and the rest of them. And those are being used for power generation. Okay, then the Nkalago cement, we had a lot of limestones around those areas and the rest of them. So, but we have all these things.
Cocoa
the cocoa was in the southwest and the rest of them. But I think this government doesn't seem to be
all right.
interested in that.
Moving on, Buhari Oshomole Okorocha meet ahead of APC convention. That convention, of course, has been shifted several times. We'll just leave that, let that one be. Children's Day, Senate demands Leah Sharibu Chibok girls rescue. And hear this one. This is really troubling. A printer abducts and rapes pupil he met on Facebook.
It's very when I get to I got that information yesterday. It was very troubling because it's very unfortunate that some of these things that are supposed to aid in us in learning and rest of them is not turning out to be another means of. Don't forget what happened to. Is it Otugo, the lady
that came from Nasarawa to Lagos?
Yes, that's the University
of
Nasarawa student that was lured to Lagos and was killed and rest of them. That was also
Cynthia
been so many. Cynthia
Osukogu.
And there have been other ones before after that. And I just feel that we should have been more careful.
But what is a pupil doing? It's not even what is a pupil doing on Facebook.
Yeah.
How does a pupil get to the point where she goes and visits someone, and this is a young child. I mean, it's a pupil.
These days,
it speaks to the absence of parental guidance and control.
That is exactly where I was going to, because you can see that most of these children, as little as 7, 8, you see them on Facebook. You'll be shocked.
You'll be shocked, really, because
you'll be shocked.
It seems that
and some of them don't even know what they do. Is that their parents are doing something, they just pick up their phone and just start
do what they want to do.
You know, growing up, then there was no technology, but now you see a child of 8. Yeah. He or she already has a phone.
That's what I'm saying. Some of the parents even give their kids as early as 8, 9 years to phones.
I've heard stories of, you're talking about phone, I've heard stories of kids who say, Daddy, I don't want to go to school with a G-Wagon today. I want to go with the Maybach.
All right.
That's another one.
Okay. All right. The court voids Jibrin's suspension, orders reps to pay accrued salaries. Yeah, he's a good boy now.
Yeah,
Fayose destroying fire.
I like that.
He's a good boy.
All right, go to the Nation newspaper. The major story, how $8.5 billion was released for power projects in 13 years. This seems to be like a fact check.
Yes.
You know, from what the president said, though he didn't mention the name anyway, that the previous administration spent about $16 billion. So if this amount was spent in 13 years, of course, it has debunked that already.
Yeah, but you know, the general has referred us to his book. For those of us that cannot read,
Yeah,
he said we should go to page 41 and I think
40,
41 and 40
42,
whatever.
43,
Yeah.
47,
I think if we
47
cannot read and
of my
understand, we should
watch.
call our aides to read to us and
help
to
us.
explain to us. So I think he will still have more explanation to do. But I personally just feel that I think it's high time for us to move ahead.
Yeah.
For 3 years, this government has been blame. Let us just forget. Yes, I'm not saying that people that got their hands soiled with our resources and the rest of them shouldn't be brought to book and the rest of them. But I think we cannot continue doing this. When a kid falls down, it looks bad. When an adult falls down, it just falls. It looks forward. That's what happens. Yeah. Then if you think that these guys these certain things that they're not supposed to have done, then pick them up. Look at what is happening to Zuma. Less than less than a month that Zuma got out of office. He was picked up and he was charged. Why can't we do that here? Right. I don't know why we're playing around that.
And this one story is just too bold to be missed. Wike exposed. Allegation of bribes, threats to life, sworn witness testimonies. And you have different testimonies of some people that were interrogated by the police, and even pictures of sworn witness testimonies. Against the governor. But then I wonder, how did this paper get, written testimonies?
No, that's an advert, as far as I'm concerned. That should be an advert. It's not just because I'm sure there's somebody that signed under. Yes. Once it's signed, so in those days of rapper,
it's actually signed.
It was signed. I've not even seen it, but I know it's going to be an advert. It's just towards 2019.
Yeah,
everybody's playing. Everybody's political. Everybody's playing dirty. Anything you have, and the River State's election will be a very, very tough one. If 2015 was tough,
has it not always been tough?
No, it will be tougher. It will be tougher. And the problem now is even within, apart from the PDP APC issue, now within the APC itself, the Abe, Amechi factor is going to be another. So I hope the security agents are already putting everything in place to make sure that.
Where are the clean Nigerians that
all right,
play
so let's just go through the remaining papers now. 350,000 to get federal government interest-free loans. Ex-IG Smith to replace Okiro as a Public Service Commission chair. Bagudu Akeredolu Oni in APC's Ekiti 77-man campaign team.
Yeah, I saw. When that news broke yesterday, and you practically have how many governors? Practically all the APC governors are members of that.
Yeah, we hear that the APC governorship is going to be as important as
Ekiti,
as important as the 2019 general election.
Yeah, so
okay, moving on to the Daily Sun. Killings. Soyinka urges federal government to seek international help. Of course, it's not the first time he's saying this. Recall when President Buhari visited Donald Trump recently. That call also came from Soyinka.
Is that?
Yeah.
I think personally, I think we've gone beyond just killing. Somebody told me, I can't remember who said it now, at least one today or yesterday. It's no longer just killing. It's a genocide, as far as I'm concerned. And it is right time we start appropriating that accurately. It's no longer just some people, political or whatever. It is now genocide because there seems to be an attempt by certain people to just clean up and just designate a particular
that's what they're calling it.
Yes. I don't want to use that word ethnic because when you use ethnic, when you start saying ethnic, religions, and the rest of them, some people started. But the fact is that this was practically what happened in Rwanda. This was how it started, and some people. And listen, the president visited some states in the north just as he was leaving. The killing continued. The IGP was deployed to go to certain states. As he was there, the killing continued.
Because the
Vice President,
Middle Belt Forum, they've gone to the ICC, International Criminal Court, saying something needs to be done urgently so that this does not degenerate to the Rwanda situation.
I totally agree with them. But the problem is that till now, I have not seen, apart from what the pockets of what the military have just been able to achieve recently, where they are killing some of the herdsmen, and I have not seen anybody, quote and unquote, being arrested and paraded or totally being irresponsible.
Some arrested,
paraded. The one that I said the one that military have done of recent. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Whether those arrests and parading are deterrent enough is another matter. Still on the Daily Sun, 58 universities declared illegal. The National Universities Commission lists unapproved institutions and orders closure. How did this happen in the first place? You have National University of Technology, Lafayette, so many universities there.
58.
It's very appalling. Just drive through from here, the Lagos
to Ibadan.
You will see the pockets. I continue seeing whatever university, peaceful, whatever university. I just see two buildings, and that's it, and rested. And I continue asking, funny enough, I just get to understand that.
Don't be afraid, girl.
The viewer wouldn't know why we all.
No, but the thunder just struck and that was really loud. All right, resource control breaks Senate. Our report based on eyewitness account says Amnesty International. That's in response to the federal government and the military's claim that this allegations are truly unfounded. And court declares innocent wanted over non-appearance.
Yes. Yesterday, the High Court judge in Lagos declared him wanted, said he has not refused to appear before
up to five
times and rest of them. But he has come out to respond to that. It wasn't that he refused to appear, but there is some certain procedures that he did not agree with, which his counsel has been handling and the rest of them, so that declaring him wanted was embarrassing. But I personally think that irrespective of whatever you feel, if the court summons you, you appear.
And the unfortunate thing is, all kinds of meanings are already being read.
Of course,
this,
of course. And we shouldn't be. We shouldn't be.
Yeah.
All right, so we go to the Vanguard newspaper. The major story here, Benue killings, ethnic cleansing or jihad. Soyinka, northern leaders tango and with multiple riders. It's ethnic cleansing should be treated like cancer. That's Soyinka talking. Balarabe Musa, Soyinka is wrong. Junaid Mohammed, he is mischievous. It's a jihad. We've been disarmed. Can't defend ourselves. Governor of Benue State Otom talking just like
I stated that at the beginning. So I stated that. So, but the worrisome part there is what the governor said, that it is a jihad, and we have been disarmed. That brings some level of religious connotation to it, and also brings some kind of partisanship towards
you're not adequately protected
yes, if
by
you're
the
saying
security
that,
operatives,
yes, if you're not protecting us, you cannot allow us to
yourself.
protect ourselves, that means something is wrong.
All right, we'll go to the top of the paper. Amnesty report on IDPs. The soldiers will give you food and rape you at night. Victim. 58 fake universities operating in Nigeria, says NUC. We talked about that too before. I don't know what came over me, says man that defiled his 4 daughters. We can't even comment about that. Court declaring me wanted attempt to embarrass me. Court declaring me wanted attempt to embarrass me. Innocent boss.
Yes, innocent MD. Yeah.
All right, and the New Telegraph. PDP leaders face trial over $115 million campaign funds. This campaign
fund, and that doesn't it ever end? I don't know how much was this campaign fund.
We are close to another election.
Funds, shouldn't those really be an internal matter?
Party, I think personally, I don't know.
Or do you question a party for how much it spends or how it spends its campaign funds? Unless, of course, you're saying that they dipped their hands in the national till.
Well, then there is a law backing it. There is an amount of money you're supposed to spend on presidential elections, senatorial election, and all that. So you have to be within that. But
on that score, most every party will be guilty. Then.
Everybody. Absolutely everybody. Everybody.
All right, soldiers detained women and children on suspicion. That's Amnesty International still talking there. Cameroonian soldiers stripped and raped Nigerian refugees. This is an addendum to what they already came out with. Reps dash hope of 300,000 youths dump Peace Corps bill. All right, siblings dupe Nigeria's richest woman, Alakija. Yeah, she claimed that some of her staff duped her $3 million. But how much is that really to
because of time, let's quickly run through the last paper this day. APC and PDP rift deepens. Faction keeps options open. Presidency, APC denies substituting names on convention list. PDP ecstatic over implosion. Ruling party reschedules convention for June the 23rd.
The impression we're giving was that they met, the NPDP met with the APC leadership, and it was agreed and it has been resolved that whatever problem we had, let us just forget it and move ahead. We'll look into it.
Yeah, but after we're told that that has been resolved, then you hear that.
That's what I'm saying. After
the 50 names have been dropped
from this thing. So that means, so they're really digging in.
Okay, governors, National Assembly, APC, PDP members set to join ADP. Up at the paper, Nigeria requires savings stabilization mechanisms, and that's about it, really. Yeah, Governor Siraki Dixon of Bayelsa shaking President Buhari here in the standalone picture.
Yeah. And that seems to be one man that's really demonstrating that there's a difference between politics and governance.
Yes, yes.
Recently, you met with the Kaduna
Air.
Yes, from the one. Governor Siraki Dixon of Bayelsa seems to have had his work cut out. Is bipartisan. Most of that, even within the party. Yes, even within the party, whenever they have issues, he has always been the one being called upon to reconcile most of the members and all the planners. And apart from that, he goes out to meet governors and other stakeholders from other parties and residents. That is how it should be done.
After election, what remains should be governance.
Yes, it's just the governance. That's what he's doing.
Chris-Nwandu, thank you very much for your analysis.